Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to put the post that you create on your page and match up the menus. Um, so the first thing you want to do is let's start putting our stories over here. Um, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into this space here and click this, and then these buttons pop up. Now, if I were to click here, you can see those buttons don't pop up. So I have to go into here in order to get to my blog dashboard. And then I'm going to hit settings. And what I can do here is I can assign this area here to the category I created for top stories. And I would do that here. But what you're going to see is I was already messing with this, so this looks slightly different than what you're going to see when you first try and set this up with this template. What it's going to look like for you is if you look here, you're going to see this kind of red button, and it's going to just show category deleted. But if you pull down the menu, you're going to see your options here. So I'm going to go here, click in here, click settings, and I'm going to select top stories. Now, I've got an issue with a couple of issues. One is that my headline doesn't look right and my tease doesn't look right. So I've got to do something in order to fix that. So I'm going to go in here, so it doesn't fit right. So I'm going to have to shorten my headline, and I'll show you what to do about the teaser. So I'm going to go here and think about how can I shorten this headline so it's going to fit. So I'm going to do Putin barely lets interviewer Tucker Carlson get a word in. Now, is that going to fit? Well, we'll see. The other problem, though, is the teaser. So here's the best way to fix the teaser. Take this and copy it, and then go over into here under settings. And then under advanced, you can put the teaser text here. And then that should fix it. Now I'm going to go back, and I'm going to refresh the page. And let's see how we're doing. Still doesn't quite fit. This part is fixed, but my headline doesn't quite fix. So I'm going to cheat a little bit and just expand that just enough so that my headline fits. Okay, now how do I set up the rest of these? Well, this is just text. Now I could go in here and get the menus to labels to display, or the categories as they're called, in in the blog. And the way you do that is you go to display and do category labels, so that'll show up. So if you noticed, I went to settings, display, and then click that box. And if I do that, there's the category label. Okay, but I want it to show up over there. So this is just text, and I can edit this, but I want to leave that as top stories. But for these other ones, I want opinion here. So I've got to assign this to my opinion posts. And I'm going to do that here by doing opinion. And I haven't created any opinion posts yet, so nothing's showing up quite yet. And then I'm going to come down here, and this is just text, and just like this and this. And so I'm going to rename this. I'm going to go in and edit text, and I'm going to rename this National Stories and I'm going to rename this one Local Stories. Okay, and now I've got to add blogs here in order to have these show up on the site. So here again, I go to Settings, National Stories, and see that shows up, and then Local Stories. Which we don't have any yet. Okay, and so I can keep doing that here for the blog. I probably want a different story in here, so I would have to create a post and go assign it accordingly through here. Now, how do I get this to match with the different menus up here? Well, one thing you can do is you can just delete these menus if you don't want to deal with that. But if you want to create all these separate pages for your site, here's how you do it. So first of all, I'm going to rename these menus to fit with my menu system. So I'm going to rename this one Top Stories. I'm going to rename this one National Stories. And Local Stories, well, I'm going to keep opinion because I have opinion. So I'm going to grab this here, move this up like that, and then rename this Local Stories. And so far that's so good, except I may, just for the sake of navigation, want to add the homepage, make it visible, because right now it doesn't look like it is. It's not clear to me how the user can get back to that homepage I've created because it's not on the menu. It'd probably be on the landing page, but maybe I want to add that to my pages menu. And you might be wondering, why isn't it there? Well, it's not there because of the settings here. So I want to go into here, and it's got hide from menu right now. Maybe I'll add that to the menu. And now you've got the home page, so it's easier maybe for the audiences or the public to navigate. Okay, so now I've got to set up these pages though, because if you go to them, they're not corresponding with the stories that I created on my blog. So remember, I said to you, there's two different menus, right? There's the blog menu, and there's the pages menu. So I named these pages menu, but I didn't really set it up to correspond with my blog menu. So what I'm going to do is, this has got two different blog columns here. And I don't really want that. I just want one. So I'm going to manage columns first of all, and I'm just going to make one column. So I'm going to delete this column. And now I just have one column. because this is going to be where I put my top stories. So I'm going to change the text here too to make that clear. And now in order to get this to be right, I just do the same thing I did before, which is I go here and I do top stories, and now it's going to populate that with the top stories. But some of these pages don't have a blog set up at all. So I've got to assign a blog to the pages and get rid of the other stuff that's on the page. So if you look under what had been the climate change box, well, this one has the blog set up, so I would do the same thing. So I'm going to skip that because I basically just do what I did before. But if I go to another page like this one, there's no blog set up on this page. So this is where I want my opinion store. Well, no, this is where I want my local. So I'm going to edit this. Again, edit text. And then come in here and write local stories. And now I need to get rid of this. So I simply just need to hit delete. And that gets rid of it. And now I've got to add the blog. So this time, because the blog wasn't there, I have to go to here under the plus button. And I have to go to blog, and then I have to choose a layout for my blog. So I can do that with the other ones as well. I can, rather than, for example, rather than simply having, this format for top stories, I can go in and I can change the layout like I did for like I'm doing now for the local stories page. But anyway, I've chosen a display for that, and it's here, and I can, or chosen a layout for it, I should say, and maybe I want to do classic or side by side. That looks a little bit better. So I can decide what kind I want, but you notice on my local stories it's showing a national thing, so I don't want that. So I want to go in there and choose local stories, and right now we don't have any, so we'd have to go ahead and create them. So we basically just go through the same process that we went through in creating that first post. We go here to manage posts, new posts, and when we create a new post, we give it a headline. So I probably use like one of the ones that I have for Civil Beat for this website, and then I would make it a top story probably, because the one from Civil Beat I like. I'd set it as a local story, and then assign it here to this blog. So I would go here, and I've already got it assigned to local stories. So there's one final step that I have to show you to complete this assignment and submit it to me and share it with the rest of the class, and that's pretty simple. You just hit publish, and when you hit publish, this window is going to pop up. Now in this window is your website for your address for your website. So you want to copy and paste that. You want to select that and then copy and paste it. Now I want you guys to be careful about this, because if you look here, this address that's just at the top of your browser is not the address for your website. This is a web address for your editor. So if you share this and submit that as your assignment, you're not going to pass the assignment, because this address is not going to work. This is the address for your site. You get it by publishing it and doing that. So that pretty much concludes everything I need to show you about how to set up the assignment and do it. Reach out to me if you have any questions. We'll troubleshoot together, and good luck.